Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Max McAllister from Traction Dynamics here. Told you I was going to come up with a relative comparison chart to give you some uh, kind of ideas to where, when you set the rear preload on your bike, um, what the changes are that's occurring relative to the 0 to 25 scale that most people are used to on the back of the Honda Goldwing. Even though the bike is completely redesigned, the rear suspension on the new bike is extremely similar to the preceding bike, even using the bulk of the same pieces as far as the shock and the preload adjuster go. So common parts, in fact the whole preload adjusting assembly is the exact same parts that were used from 2001 to 2017. So if you're used to 0 to 25 and kind of know the numbers you used to like, because of the icon system now, you get 4 icons, and you're not able to choose whatever number you want. The 4 icons are a one-up rider, with luggage, 2 riders, and 2 riders with luggage. So I'm going to kind of move this phone around just to kind of bring you closer here. It's after hours, I'm by myself, so here's the relative comparison chart. So on your 2001 to 2017 bike, if you compare to 2018, 0 is the one-up icon, the one-up solo. One-up with luggage is equivalent of 14 on your preceding bike. 2-up is equivalent to 24 and a half on your preceding bike, which leaves 2-up with luggage here. We're going to call that 25 because it does kind of achieve its maximum range of preload there at that point. This is the problem I was suggesting in another video that Honda needs to address. This scale, as you can plainly see, is not evenly spaced in any way. And this isn't just one bike. We've seen, many bikes at this point, they all are like this. So, my suggestion would be, I'm going to use this as, call it the wish list for people to ask Honda. 0 will still be obviously your one-up icon guy, but we're going to call these numbers evenly spaced, 8, 16, and 24, right? And so what we'd like to see is that be the one-up with luggage, and this be the, sorry, I'm trying to draw, and this would be the 2-up, and then the 2-up with luggage. That would be what we'd be after there. So equivalent on your old bike, 8, 16, 24, that gives you 4 equally spread units. Of course, on the thing here, let me even space them out nice and even on my board so they look like they're spaced more evenly. So that's kind of what would be ideal if Honda could update the software on the bike in some way so that it was more evenly spread. So even if, I've already said that using the icons makes no sense to me personally, because one guy, I'm one and I weigh 160, and if you're a guy and you weigh 275, we're not the same one guy. So, but at least if they were evenly spread, it would make more sense or it would be more usable to people. You might be more likely to find a setting that would suit you. I mean, in the case of going the way it is now to, the first jump is the 14, if there might be a setting in here that would be ideal for you, but you're not going to get that choice. But if it was more evenly spread, you'd have a better shot at finding one that was more suitable to you. Particularly the first one, the first jump is big. The second one is half as much, and then this last one is nothing. So you really get nothing on the stock bike when you change from two up to two up the luggage. The preload adjuster just doesn't do anything. And so that's kind of how it will work. Oh, and for the record, if you have a standard model 2018 Goldwing, or if you have an FB6 from preceding bikes, their range of preload is extremely close to this. It would stop just short of this. So you could call an FB6 24, you know, kind of 0 to 24, but it has a knob that you manually crank with your hand, and it has lines, but its effective range is virtually as broad as a Goldwing with the preload adjuster. Same thing with the Tour. The Tour model actually uses the same manual adjuster that the FB6 had, and so it would kind of fall into that range right there. But you manually crank it, and it's numbered from 1 to 33, so you can kind of figure it out in there. That one is actually infinitely adjustable. So in a strange way, at least from the mindset of a suspension tuner, or a suspension guy, if you bought the standard bike, sorry, I'm trying to mess with my camera here because I'm alone, and like I said, and it's after hours. If you bought the standard bike, you actually have more access to set your rear preload on your standard model bike, which has just the manual cranking knob, because basically it can be infinitely adjusted anywhere in here, to any setting that you might want. So that's on standard model bikes. This is on Tour model bikes, and this is obviously all preceding models of Goldwings had the preload adjuster on it at the knee there, so right by your knee. So, all right, so there's your chart. Now you know. Hopefully this helps you understand what maybe you feel some when you hit the button on the new bike and feel the changes with it.